Hi, I'm David Cogswell. We're at the Delta Vacations University in the great city of Atlanta, Georgia. I have the pleasure of speaking here with the president of Delta Vacations, Kama Winters, and this is Insider Travel Report. So we're at this wonderful event. How are you today?
Doing wonderful. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Really excited to be here.
Thank you very much. So tell us about this event. Now, I'm not sure how many of our viewers know Delta Vacations is the unit within Delta Airlines that puts together packages of travel components around the world, everywhere that Delta Airlines flies. So that's what this is all about. And tell us about this event today, Delta Vacations University.
Great. So Delta Vacations University is one of our longest running events. It is our annual trade show where we bring together our travel agents, our partners, and our team, and really talk about what's new in the industry, what new products do we have. It's really an educational event, an opportunity, but it's been on pause for the past several years, and really this is the first year we've had it since before the pandemic. So we're really excited to be back together this year. We have about 1,000 of our Diamond travel agencies here, and we also have about 200 of our partners here with us, which includes everything from our hotel partners, destination partners, and the transportation partners.
So how does this compare with in the past? How's it doing, the coming back after a couple of years?
It's a great question. So we actually saw really unprecedented demand for this event. It sold out in, I want to say 2.5 weeks, which is really the fastest we've ever seen. And we think that's just that kind of overall demand. This is a bit of a new format for us this year. So we definitely think that lends itself. But overall, I think everyone's really excited. We've seen a lot of hugs and happy faces and reunions, and I think everybody's just thrilled to be back together again.
So how has the market changed? What's the market looking like now after 2 years of dismal times?
Dismal times. Well, we are so happy to be on the other side of the dismal times. We're really seeing, continued to see unprecedented demand. Obviously, we came out of the pandemic with that, and we are back to, fully recovered as a business overall. And from a, kind of what we're seeing within the market, we really saw a big shift to leisure through the pandemic. Obviously, customers didn't travel as much for business during that time. And so, as a whole, the Delta portfolio is really balanced a little bit more toward leisure, which has been great for us. So we've added a lot of new destinations. We've added a lot of new partners through that process. And we've also seen that customers really have more flexibility in their schedules. So a lot more folks working from home. A lot of folks have changed jobs. And so as a result, the big things we're seeing from a market perspective is just really a change in that booking behavior. We're seeing closer in bookings, given some of that flexibility. And, we're starting to see continued elevated premium booking. So more customers booking in the front of the cabin, more customers booking in kind of 4-star and above properties. I think 90% of our travel agent bookings are in 4-star and above properties, which is just phenomenal. And so, I think those two things together really demonstrate just the fact that there's such a strong demand for travel that we continue to see.
So what are some of the new things? You mentioned new destinations. I know you have some other new things, new programs, new technologies. I don't want to ask you everything all at once, but what can you tell us about some of the changes within Delta Vacations?
Sure. So the new destinations that we're really excited about, in partnership, Delta just launched new service, or is launching new service to Tahiti, which we are adding product in to support. We just announced actually at Delta Vacations University that we are adding some additional Greek islands to our portfolio. So that is really based on demand, or that's based on feedback that we're hearing from our travel agents. And so we added 4 new islands, Corfu, Mykonos, Santorini, and Rhodes. Have been added to that portfolio, which is something I know our customers are really going to enjoy. And then we've continued to add more service and more destinations in partnership with Delta. So a lot of those were added through the pandemic. And then we have several more that are coming soon. So definitely a lot more service in Europe. And that will be a big focus for us as we go forward, is really building out that Europe portfolio. And you asked me about some technology. I think we really invested heavily in self-service capabilities, particularly for our travel agency partners. partners through the pandemic, just enabling them to have more capabilities to serve their customers and their clients directly. And we're continuing to invest in that because we've seen really positive feedback with a lot of our chat features, some of our messaging functions that we have, and that just creates a more seamless service experience overall. And it really gives our travel agents and our travel advisors the ability to connect with us through their channel of choice. And so continuing in that vein. And I think the other one is we're launching a new phone system, which doesn't sound terribly exciting, but if you think about the volume of calls that we get and just the ability for us to better serve those customers. So more technology and more functionality coming soon in the service department.
Excellent, excellent. So what do you see, I'm always, since the pandemic started, thinking that it's changing us more profoundly than we are yet aware of. And in terms of travel, how are you seeing the changes affecting people? It's hard to tell, it's early, but what are you seeing?
Well, we talked a little bit about that a minute ago, and I think that the way that we've seen change is just, again, that closer in booking. But I think for us, what we've seen, based on that kind of higher demand for premium product, is this concentration of just really doubling down on quality over quantity. So for us, that has meant continuing to kind of curate a smaller portfolio overall, but of higher quality properties and higher quality partners. And I think that just extends into the experience. So we've always been really experience focused as a brand, really valuing the customer experience, valuing the travel agent experience, valuing how we can make that kind of a easier to do business with overall. But for kind of the next step, we're really just continuing to lean into that space. And we talk about quality over quantity. We talk about that when it comes to our properties. We talk about it when it comes to our people. So we continue to hire, just top talent to really extend our brand. And just the decisions that we make, whether it be, from the technology investments or any of the others. Another area that, we're continuing to invest in is activities. So we know that activities are a key part of the experience. And that was one of the biggest challenges during the pandemic, is we saw a lot of activities either come back or not necessarily come back in full. And so we're really working with some new technology partners in the activity space to be able to better curate and customize vacation experiences for your clients.
So we see a certain amount of anxiety about the economy in various ways, which is probably just normal always, but I'm not sure how much it's really manifested into anything. But are you seeing any effect of some of these things that people are worried about with the economy, a possible recession or inflation affecting things or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, so far, we've been fortunate. A lot of our bookings have remained really stable, but I think that is because it lends itself to a lot of the closer in bookings. People are just being a little bit more cautious in terms of how far out maybe they're booking, and so we kind of see that come in. But we are starting to offer more products that give customers both the flexibility around booking and our, certainly our travel agents more tools in situations like that. And so one of the products that we actually announced here at the U was we're going to be adding a new buy now, pay later option to the to World Agent Direct to enable customers to basically pay installments beyond the timing of their trip. So normally you have to pay in full before you go. This really gives the ability to extend that out beyond that. And so we think that'll be a really nice option as well as we think about kind of what the future has in store.
It seems like possibly balancing any economic downturn, there's an increased sense of the need for people to travel and the importance of travel. So that's hopefully playing into it.
Yeah, and that you make a great point. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things we saw is that travel, and especially leisure travel, really took on a new importance during the pandemic. And, we're excited to see that really hasn't waned, right? People, prioritize travel, prioritize that connection with their friends and family, prioritize that time away for their mental health, right? And all of those things, I think, are continuing to be invested investments that they're willing to make and almost non-negotiables. And so, for us, that means that, it is less of it is a little more recession-proof, just because I think, that's become, one of the most important aspects of people's lives, is really thinking about where they're going next, how they're going to reconnect with a lot of their friends and family.
So let's close with an unanswerable question. That's
right. A good one.
But how, as best you can see the future, what are you sort of expecting or projecting over this coming period, the coming winter and following time after that?
Yeah, so certainly don't have a crystal ball, and I think, to your point, unanswerable question. But for us, we are really excited about the demand that we're starting to see for Europe. We think that, given kind of some of the challenges that existed over summer travel, there's a really nice time coming to travel, in the fall and in the winter. And, we're just starting to continue to see that strong demand in those sun and fun destinations. And so all signs lead to the fact that it is really stable and growing, right? And the fact that you've got more flexibility for customers overall, you've got, more product, you've got more places to go. We think there's just ways for us to help our travel agents continue to get smarter on how they're, targeting and helping identify kind of the customer's needs, and better continue to match both the destination and the types of products in that destination and the activities that are going to really help meet the needs of their client. And so I think, overall, we feel really optimistic. We think that there is a huge horizon, or a huge positive horizon for travel, and I can't think of a better time, frankly, to be in this business than right now.
Beautiful. I love optimism. I know everybody out there loves it, I'm sure. Camel Winters, thank you so much for spending time with us today. And I'm David Cogswell, and thank you very much. Good evening.
Thank you.